about my car. It's you never know, right? Like one of those you never know stories. So about 3 or 4 months ago, Dan Henry buys this Lamborghini, and I'm like, I get jealous sometimes, just like anybody else, right? I'm like, damn it, he ain't got no kids, he ain't got no employees, he ain't got no people depending on him. His webinars making him a couple $1 million a year. God damn it, man. You know, like we get like that sometimes. Don't lie. Some of y'all look at KT right now and go, he got all this extra time and all that money. Or you look at Brandy, she got all these loans coming in. I'm normal. I get that way too. But I thought, God damn it, man, he got this fucking Lamborghini. Shit. So I hit him up. I'm like, hey, man, how you go about buying something like that? Because, you know, obviously I've leased cars and leased new cars for the last several years. And I have bought cars over the years, but nothing ever of that caliber. And he says, I bought this Exotic Car Hacks program. I told you guys about that. And, you know, I buy the program. It goes in my mind. Finally, ultimately, I buy the McLaren a few weeks ago. And I see it was Friday. I see that Danielle White, Garrett J. White's wife, is like riding in an Aventador, which is a Lamborghini, for those of you that don't know. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I hit up Garrett, and I said, hey, man, I just saw that you guys got an Aventador. Congratulations, man. We're so much alike. I just joined the fucking club, too, and got this McLaren. And Garrett says, you know, what you don't know about that story is I saw you get that McLaren, and I said, fuck it, I deserve a Lamborghini, and I went and got one for me, too. And I share that story because it's like, it's nice. People that I respect and admire and that have worked hard and that are bringing change to people's lives are getting nice cars. That's like one thing. But the other is like, you never know who you're influencing. You know, Dan influenced me to level up in a vehicle. And then also he influenced me to educate myself where I can profit from it. You know, and then I influenced Garrett to indulge himself and, you know, enjoy the good life that he's living. And it's just cool to know that you may not know. See, Garrett never hit me up and said, hey, because of you, I bought this car. Here's a picture of it. I would have never known if I didn't see his wife on Instagram getting out of a Lamborghini, and I just knew. I was like, oh, shit. And so I want you to think about as we're going into our training today, I'm about to transition into this. As we're going into our training today, I want you to think about who you might be influencing. Just because they don't comment on your Facebook shit doesn't mean they don't see your post. Just because they're not private messaging you all the time, asking you questions, doesn't mean that they're not getting the answers they want. And you never know. You know, when it shows up and it looks like 100 likes and 50 comments, we don't go through all of those and see who's touching our shit and who wasn't. Well, you never know who you're influencing. In this instance, it's cool. Everybody's got cars, but you might be influencing someone who's on drugs to level the fuck up. You might be influencing someone who was about to kill themselves and stay the fuck alive. I want you to understand the responsibility that you have of being a part of this group, right? Being aligned with me. We're taking it more and more serious every day. But part of the responsibility of being aligned with this group is you're an influencer. Shit, some of you are writing books and getting mentioned in Huffington Post and Forbes and Entrepreneur, and crazy shit is happening for you. We take it for fucking granted because we're just back here like, fuck, what's next? Well, I want you to know, like, you're an influencer, and you see the difference. You join this, you start following our implementation. I see Dan Krenzel, man, he's got a picture with like 145 fucking likes on it, I think it was, that I saw. You know, he's following the fucking process. It's working for him. And guess what? It's not about how many likes or comments or shares, but those likes, comments, and shares represent amount of lives that you're affecting. They represent a number of human beings that you're influencing. And we all know that the amount of money we make is in direct proportion to the amount of value we bring to the marketplace, and the reflection of value is people that enjoy what we post and what we share and benefit from it from. So what I'm saying is you never know who you're influencing. Jim Prince, I promise you're influencing those kids on the football team. They watch your stuff, man, whether you think they do or they don't. They get mad at you. They come to you looking for dirt. They find out how fucking awesome you really are. Just keep in mind, you're in this, you're learning this stuff. And we think of it as just for marketing, but really it's influencing people all the way around. Because somebody that didn't have a promising future might be inspired by you, and that's exactly what they find out that they do have. So just keep that in mind as we go through this training, which will begin right now. So the motherfucking moment that you're put on this planet, you start to struggle. You struggled to come out of the pussy in the beginning. Think about it. The first thing you do when you arrive on this planet is fucking cry like a little bitch, like a little fucking baby. Think about that for a second. And from that moment on, the doctor fucking smacks you or something else to get you to take a deep breath. They start cutting your fucking stomach. They start working on you. They start sticking you with needles. They start drawing blood. They start making you piss yourself. It's immediate fucking torture the fucking minute you arrive on this fucking planet. We weren't meant to be born that way. But what happens is one of our the very first fucking experience on this planet would be horrific. What if today, as an adult, with the experience you have, if you were squeezed out of a fucking piece of skin and stabbed and poked and had your fucking guts cut and all this other shit that you gotta have, could you fucking imagine? But see, that's not how we were fucking supposed to come. These hospitals fucking us up, y'all. That's not how it's supposed to happen. What's supposed to happen is a female supposed to give birth and then hold the baby herself. Ultimately, the umbilical cord falls off. It's supposed to be immediate skin-to-skin contact and love. When cave people were having babies, they weren't sticking them with needles or cutting their fucking dicks yet or circumcised, all these shit that we have to do. And so the moment you come out of the womb, you're in the fucking struggle immediately, and it doesn't stop. At some point, there's been this illusion. Maybe it's religion, maybe it's government, maybe it's TV, movies, happily ever after bullshit, but there's this fucking illusion that it ends one day, and it doesn't end until that one day that you die. But most of us go through life looking for this happily ever after, and we're continually disappointed until at one point we just decide to fucking accept our fate. Not you guys. It's not why you're here. But some of you have decided to accept your fate. I'm going to snap you out of it today. We were born into the struggle. It never fucking ends. Let me repeat myself to you. We were born into the struggle. It never fucking ends. Everything at every time and around every corner on this planet is trying to fucking kill you. You drink too much water, you die. You have too much air, you die. Too much food, you die. Not enough food, you die. Not enough water, you die. It's a fine motherfucking line we're walking around this bitch every day. I'm looking over the tollway right now. People die every fucking day right outside my office. When I lived in the penthouse in uptown Dallas, people died every day outside of my house. Every day. I witnessed it. Horrible. There's atrocities happening all over our planet every day. Everything on this planet is designed to fucking hurt or kill you. Therefore, you must remain in the struggle. You never get out of it. There is no happily ever after in life. Trust me, we all know people worth lots of money. And they might be happily, but there's no ever after. What the fuck does that mean, forever? Like, really? Like, what lasts forever? Warren Buffett's not even sure his money would last forever, so how the fuck can we assume that our happiness and the fucking rate that we've got things going at are going to last forever? We're born into this struggle. Well, what happens, man, is the fucking struggle tries to win. And the more you struggle, the more the more the world's trying to get you to relent. But the more you struggle, the more the world fights back to you. We're faced with this struggle every fucking day. When you're a kid, you got struggles. When you're a young adult, you have struggles. When you're an adult, you have struggles. When you get a little bit older, you have struggles. It never fucking ends. But what happens is the world's giving you a series of tests. Each struggle is a test. Each struggle is a test in the world saying, okay, I'm going to make you struggle a little bit to see if you're tough enough to make it through. What happens after you're tested a few times, most people go, I don't want to be tested again, and they fucking mind. Kind of like my kids. They act out of line, I spank them. They act out of line again, I spank them again. They act out of line again, I spank them. Eventually, they don't act out of line. At least not in that area. The world does that to us as discipline, not just through our parents, but the ways of the world that we learn our entire life. Right? We go get a credit card, we charge it up, we don't pay it, the world slaps us with bad credit. We go, we loan money to someone that we love and they don't pay us back, the world slaps us with fucking reality. We go to school, we study real hard, we still fail the test, the world fucking slaps you with a reality check. It's all a part of the struggle. It's all a part of the struggle. It's all supposed to happen. But somewhere down, like someone along the way, the line, somewhere along the way, somebody started selling this thing that you don't have to struggle anymore, which is bullshit. But what happened was it sounded like such a good, irresistible offer that everybody started looking up for this way to end the struggling. The fastest way for most people to end the struggle was to get comfortable. Because the struggle is trying to put you through what I call the force of average. I'll go into detail on that here in a minute. I've mentioned it several times before. Now I have a name for it. But the struggle is just a tool of the force of average. What happens is most people, they decide they don't want to struggle anymore, so they decide to tap out and become average life. Okay, I've struggled to the point to where I never want to go through that again. Oh, I had a bad relationship. I never want to go through that again. So I'm just going to date an average person that'll treat me average. I'll just have an average life because I tried this extraordinary shit. It turns out if he's extraordinarily nice, he might be extraordinarily crazy too. If he's extraordinarily good looking, he might be extraordinarily vain as well. If she's extraordinarily well put together, she might cost a lot of money as well. Right? We learn these things. And then we decide that we had it and that it didn't work out for us. And that struggle, we failed on that level, or at least we accepted failure on that level. And instead of starting all over trying to beat that level, we just decide to stay the level below because it's easier to play that way. But struggle doesn't end. I'm going to repeat that so many times on this call today because I'm driving it home. When you find yourself in stressful, fucked up, trying situations, it's because the struggle doesn't end. And the greater you're poised to do shit, the more struggle's going to come against you. Think about it. Some of the greatest breakthroughs we've had, like Einstein, they came against him. He was persecuted. He wasn't just uplifted. Other scientists were trying to disprove his shit. Greatest breakthroughs. People out there sabotaging the Large Hadron Collector, the LCH, which is called Collider. Like every great breakthrough has its struggles, because how the fuck are you going to break through if the struggle breaks you? But if you know that everything in life, like the struggle's never going to get away, then you don't wake up and get shocked by the fucking struggle. You don't wake up in the morning and some shit not be right and go, I wasn't expecting this. You wake up every day ready for that motherfucker. Where you at today, struggle? Bring your bitch ass out of the fucking woods, motherfucker. Where you at today? Where you at? I'm ready for you, bitch. Come on. But the problem is, when you're sold this happily ever after thing, you don't go into the office place looking for the struggle. Where the fuck you at, struggle? You go into the office place and you're like, oh my God, maybe today's the day I'll live happily ever after. I totally just like envision myself as Danny, the Ryan motherfucking Stewman guy, Danny Galvez, like when that happened, right? Like his little Snapchat filter and his fake voices. But instead, we've been sold some bullshit that eventually the struggle ends. So every day we go into work looking for the struggle to end. Instead of looking for the struggle so that we can win, we're looking for the struggle to end. And that's not what's going to happen, because I've said it again, the struggle doesn't end. It's there every day. And the faster you find it and bring the struggle to it, the better. When you're playing sports, the faster you get the fucking ball down the other side, the better, right? You got to bring the ball to them. Well, I watched football yesterday. I know, dangerous territory I'm charting in here. But when they carried the ball down the field, man, it would take them 2 or 3 minutes, let's say, to get the ball 80 yards down the way. But as soon as they get in that 20-yard red zone, man, it takes another 10, 15 minutes sometimes to get through there. The majority of it, no problem. They passing down the field. It's all good. As soon as they get to the red zone, the very last little bit, you had to bring the ball to them, though, to find the struggle and beat them to the goal. That's what you're doing every day when you show up to the office. I'm not saying be negative, like, oh, what's going to come and attack me today? What's going to happen to me today? I'm scared of the struggle. Don't be scared of the struggle. Make the struggle fear you. If you go in there every day, and I know every day I step into the fucking work and I know what something's going to get fucked up. Something's going to get fucked up. You know why? Because if everything was fucking smooth all the time, everybody be living on the same fucking level as us. If everything was smooth all the time, this shit would be easy and we would all fucking have private jets and fucking mansions in the sky. But I know it ain't fucking easy. And I know a lot of people tap out along the way because it's not easy. And because I embrace the fucking struggle, I come in every day looking for the struggle so that I find you before you find me, motherfucker. Watch it. Because it's the one thing that's been constant in your life since day one. I explained that already. The one thing that's been constant in your life since day one. It's not going anywhere either. Oh, it's not going anywhere. The struggle never ends. The struggle is simply a tool of something called the force of average. If you're taking notes, write this down. The force of average is the weight of the world putting pressure on you to conform. You see, whoever coded this planet, the divine coder, right? Whether you believe in God, Allah, whatever other things are out there to believe in, something, whether it was the Big Bang or Jesus or God speaking, something coded this planet. This planet operates on numbers. This planet operates on mathematics. If you want to build a car, it's simple mathematics. If you want to follow a blueprint to build DNA blocks in humans, it's simple mathematics. If you want to build pills, businesses, anything, it's simple mathematics. You want to make a rocket ship to go to the motherfucking Mars, it's mathematics. So something mathematically coded this entire planet, or it wouldn't line up like that. Well, as a person who understands how computer programs and software is built, when you code something, you code it based on average. You don't code something thinking that your top users, like for example, we could code ClickFunnels, and it could be way more complicated than it is right now. And I could still figure it out. Most people couldn't. Which would render ClickFunnels useless. It wouldn't be very fun if only 4 or 5 people knew how to make shit work, like Infusionsoft or something. However, you code ClickFunnels for the average person to be able to go in and drag and drop and get the solutions they want. That's how our planet was coded too, so that the average person had a chance of survival as well as the elite. And at any given moment, you're going to have average and elite people. There's average and elite species. Obviously, we're apex predator species, so we're the fucking elite species on the planet. But there's a force of average on this planet everywhere. Everything, like I think it was Sir Isaac Newton that said, for everything that goes up must come down. Every action has an equal reaction, right? And so if we know that this law of average means what goes up must come down, rocket ships and submarines, then we know the struggle is a tool to control you down when you're coming up. Let me say that again. We know that if what goes up must come down, then we know that the struggle is a tool of the force of average trying to hold you down as you're coming up. What happens is we think that the fucking come up is going to be the happily ever after, when really the come up only brings the struggle out. There's no struggle in happily ever after, but I'm telling you the struggle never ends. So anytime that you think happily ever after, the struggle shows up. We look at Mark Zuckerberg. He's got a company worth about $300 billion right now. He's rich as fuck. Everybody he knows is rich as fuck. He's married, kids, house in Hawaii with the fucking fence around it. You'd think that he would be happily ever after. He's struggling right now too. Maybe not financially, but he's struggling with PR nightmares because he's in a position where he just can't say shit to make the whole goddamn world happy. Just can't do it. There's too many people that just bitch about ridiculous shit. The struggle never ends, but he's broken through these tremendous averages, so there's billions of people trying to fucking hold him back. Because the unequaled action that he took requires a massive amount of equal reaction from the world, from the force of average. And the struggle is a tool. You have a good day, you have a bad day. You have a good month, you have a bad month. You make $100,000, you lose $100,000. Better yet, you make $100,000, you lose 50. Fuck. Average ass shit. You hire a good employee, you got a shitty employee that fucking makes them work out to be average. You get a good team member, you got a shitty team member. You buy a good business, you get a bad business. You got a good house, you got a bad house. You gambling, you get a good hand, you lose a hand. Everything on this planet is trying to keep you average. And so listen, if the average person makes $70,000 and you're going to make $700,000, you're going to have to be 10 times average, right? I want you to consider this. If you know and you're aware that there's two things that exist at all time on this planet, the force of average and the struggle. And now that you know that you've been awoke, I've woke you, I've given you a red pill and told you that those two things are always there, they're never going to leave you. There should be no surprise after the first initial maybe shock settled in. I highly doubt any of y'all were shocked to hear that. However, now that you know this, it's just like when I woke you up to what to do on Facebook. I said, listen, most people show up, they don't have any intent. They're just fucking posting, look at my kids, look what I ate for breakfast. We show up like wolves, and we're fucking intentional. Well, now we're showing up in life this way. We know. Hey, fuck you, struggle. Hey, we know. Force of average, not today, motherfucker. Save that for people willing to tap out. My hand don't work. My wrist is locked in place. Can't tap, sir. Sorry. But now that we know that it's there every day, what do we do? What are some things that we can prepare ourselves mentally to fight that force of average and to tell the struggle to fuck off? Because it's one thing to go looking for it, but it's another to fight it over and over again. I remember when I was in the 5th grade, there was a guy named Michael Conway. And my parents didn't pick me up from school, and I lived too close from school to ride the bus home, so I fucking walked or I rode my bicycle. The only way to get from the school to my house without going a tremendous way out of the way was to walk by this kid, Michael Conway's house. Mike Conway was 2 years older than me, a little shit-talking motherfucker. And we fought every day for like the first 2 weeks of school. I refused to tap out. He was older than me. He was refusing to be a bitch. And we're little kids, 5th, 7th grade or whatever. But at the same time, we're fighting every day. Eventually there came a part where it's like, I'm walking by your house anyway, motherfucker. And I'm ready for you to bring it today. And if you bring it today, I'm going to hit harder than I did yesterday because I'm going through a growth spurt this time. Same way that he thought. But after a while, the two of us were like, fuck, man, I'm tired of fighting you. But I was willing to keep fighting. He said, you know what, man? And he beat my ass most days, but I was still willing to fight. He was older than me. Eventually, he let me make it. He didn't fuck with me anymore. But guess what? Just a few houses down, there was this kid named Josh Perry. And I had to fight him if I wanted to walk home every day. And he was just a little bit bigger and older than Mike. And I remember fighting Josh, man. We fought 3 or 4 times this 1 week. And I'm not even like a fighting kid. These are just like the fucked up neighborhood that I grew in. These are the fucking people that did shit to you, Maybe some of y'all know. Some of y'all grew up like that too. Just older kids fuck you up for no reason. Especially they think, you got nice shoes on or some shit, like some clothes they want. Or some shit they didn't have when they were kids and they mad that you got it. But the struggle's like that every day too. Just when you think you beat that motherfucker up, the neighbor shows up. It's like, oh, you beat up my friend, the neighbor, Michael? I'm Josh. Now you got to whoop me. It never ends. When you're a little kid, it's fighting people who ultimately grow up to be your friends, right? When you're an adult, it's battling the competition, fighting the force of average to find a spouse that's above average too. That's right, because if the two of you align, oh shit, the pressure comes down. And you think me and Amy have it easy? The world knows we're dangerous together. She's brilliant. She's got an amazing personality. The forces of nature cause us to fucking fight shit too, man, because the force of average comes down on us. We have an extraordinary relationship. The world doesn't fucking like that. It doesn't compute. It doesn't fit into the algorithm. In order for us to have this perfect relationship, that would mean there'd have to be a million other relationships on this planet that are average or less. And so for us to be better than a million other relationships, we got to step the fuck up. We're not perfect. The struggle hits us. Amy made me 15 minutes late to the game yesterday. I like to lost my goddamn mind. And on Friday, she opened up the door of my McLaren into the garage door. So we do not have a fucking perfect relationship, but it could be worse. I've been cheated on and left when I was in prison. That was an average-ass relationship. I was married to a stripper once. Ask me how that went. But guess what? When I married the stripper, I was on the come-up. Fucking force of average got me. Got him! When I went to prison, I was on the come-up. I had the best year of my life that year, and they kicked in my door. Force of nature got me. Got him! Now I get on the come-up. I'm like, where you at, struggle? Where you at? Because I'm on the come-up again. And this time, I've been lifting weights for a long time. I've been physically getting ready, mentally getting ready. And I'm looking for them every day. But here's what the force of average does. Here's like the biggest trick this motherfucker does. This call might run a little bit over, but we'll be all right. Here's the biggest trick this fucking thing does for you. Is the force of average tries to kill your ego. And when I say ego, I don't mean the thing that makes you cocky and confident and arrogant. I mean the thing that fucking drives you. Some people call it your spirit, but it's your ego that drives you. That voice in the back of your head, that's your ego. Fool, you got this. You got this, man. Your job. Some of you that went and did the frog experience, you know the voice. That's your ego. And the force of average attacks your ego because you need an ego to survive. Your ego will tell you one of two things. Man, you don't deserve this. Or your ego will say, go get you more. And one of the tricks of the force of average is to get your ego to say you don't deserve this. And what happens is you get on the come up and the ego starts telling you don't deserve it because the force of nature, it's fucking easy, it's evil, it's got fucking greasy ass tricks. And you get on the come up and this force of fucking, this force of average starts getting inside your ego and planting these seeds that you don't believe it, and they turn into upper limits, and all of a sudden you're letting go of the things that were awesome. You have a down, you get that rock bottom moment. Maybe it's not even rock bottom. Rock bottom's not so bad. I've been there. What sucks is stuck in the middle. At least rock bottom, you can fucking bounce off. You ever been to a swimming pool or the lake? Let's say it's 30 feet deep, swim a long way down, and you never touch the bottom. You got to fucking turn around and try to fucking swim back up. That shit's hard. It's much easier to bounce off the bottom. So the force of average, throw your ass right back in average, and you try to fucking flip around and tread water midway, and that shit ain't easy. You get down on yourself, start forgetting who you are. Some of you in here are best-selling authors. Some of you in here are millionaires and multimillionaires. All of you in here make more than 90% of the people in this country. Many of you have outstanding shit that you do in the community, coaching football teams, leading your churches, running your PTA or whatever weird shit you might also be into, captain of the dog walking team. You're enriching lives. Some of you have been in world-renowned magazines and mentioned and shared the stage in front of some of the most influential people on the planet. But man, when the force of average attacks your ego, you ain't nothing but a piece of shit. Right? I see my man Pat sometimes. Pat's a great guy, nice guy. You know, he doesn't make like deceitful decisions, right? But I see him sometimes, man, and he'll get himself up there and he'll have had a great week, man, beat the shit out of himself. He'll start thinking, like it's just like the force of average attacks his ego and start thinking of ways to fucking let go of shit that he knows he deserves. I see plenty of y'all like that too. What happens is we get down and we forget our accomplishments because our ego's under attack trying to keep us from the come up. Well, man, David Goggins shared something with me that changed the game for me. He calls it the cookie jar. He says that, and this is what I do. He says that you need to write down on little pieces of paper all of your accomplishments, every one of them. You rescued a fucking family of dogs. You raised money for Houston. You saved lives. You went grocery shopping and put all this stuff together and logistically got it down there. You wrote a book. You've been mentioned in a publication. You spoke on stage. You created X amount of jobs. Your business grew by X amount of percent. Like all your good father, outstanding, community leader. All these things you need to just be writing down on these little pieces of paper. And here's what I know about every single one of y'all. Y'all have enough of those accomplishments to fill any size cookie jar. There's a law that says any given space can be filled, right? It's a little bit more deep than that, but that's what we do as humans, right? Like any space they give us, we fill. We're in the process of filling up the world. Remember you move into a big-ass house, and you're like, we're never going to have enough furniture. You look back a year later, like, how the fuck did we buy enough furniture to fill this thing up? We'll fill space. And I know that the people that are listening to this call have accomplished so much in their lifetime that you could fill up any space with little slips of paper of your accomplishments. Started your first business, a lemonade stand at 8. Scored a hat trick in soccer at age 5. All these accomplishments you've had your entire life. Attracted and married the person of your dreams at age 28. All these accomplishments. Put them in that cookie jar. And the next time the force of average sneaks up on your ego and it says, Ryan, you don't deserve this shit. You go, hold the fuck up, motherfucker. I was featured in Forbes 3 times last month. Somebody thinks I deserve this. Ryan, you don't deserve that car, man. You're a convict. You're a piece of shit. People gonna think you ripping people up. Hold the fuck up, man. I got 500 people right now that I can get on the phone and say I changed their life. Hold the fuck up. Force of average. You ain't getting me today. Not today, Satan. You see, every time that you start feeling down, every time that somebody or something or the force of average or whatever the fuck it is starts telling you what you don't deserve because you're not good enough, you remind yourself with that fucking cookie jar just what the fuck you've done with your life. You see, the problem is we forget. We forget how fucking awesome we are. We forget that we've done shit that nobody else can fucking do. Nobody's done what the fuck we can do. Nobody. Shane Kidwell, he made the transition from a fucking fireman to a 9-figure per year producer in the mortgage business. Nobody can do that, especially in 3 fucking years. Ken Phillips, he was a cop just a few years ago, putting his fucking life on the line, decided to make a decision to make a change. Moved into the mortgage business. You know what it's like to go from being a cop to being a mortgage person? How fucking hard that was? I know what it was like to go from washing cars to doing mortgages. You see, if you're listening to me right now, you've done the impossible. And you know you've done the impossible. And you know that you will continue to do the impossible. Is the whole reason that you're just crazy enough to invest $30,000 to hear me rant on some shit and have me in your ear as often as you possibly want me. Because you know you're just crazy enough to fucking believe that you can accomplish anything that you want. And guess what? You've already accomplished everything you want. You got a cookie jar full. You wake up hungover. You wake up strung out. You had a rough night with your significant other. You had an employee quit on you. You had somebody call you a piece of shit. You had a girlfriend break up with you. Whatever the fuck it is, fuck. Remember what the fuck you've done, not what the fuck was done to you. Because everything that you controlled has probably been a success if you think about it. It's the shit you didn't control, couldn't control, or wouldn't control that caused the fucking corruption in your lifetime. If you fucking put it under the microscope, that's what you probably find. We got this force of average sneaking up on us at every fucking minute, trying to tear away at our egos, right? But I told you, ego's the driving force. See, much like everything else fake news, the world would have you believe ego's a bad thing, but ego's the thing that makes you say, I'm going to build $1 billion business, not I'm going to build an average business that goes out of fucking business in 3 years. The ego's what causes you to do that. And people will tell you that ego's a bad thing, and it's not. Ego's the driving force behind greatness. You know who tells you ego's are a bad thing? They have nothing to be confident about. They have no drive. They tell you and make you try to feel guilty. Guess what fucking pussies are? They're a fucking tool of the struggle and a fucking weapon of the force of average. Next time shit ain't right in your life, you made a bad decision, some shit was done to you, whatever the case is, stick your hand in that metaphorical cookie jar and pull out some fucking papers. Oh, I did this. Oh, yeah, I'm a badass. Oh, I did this. That's food for your ego. You need it. You see, while everybody else joins the force of average's pity party, I am a piece of shit. I am a fucking turd. I don't deserve this shit. Right? That's what most people happen. They get into agreement with the wrong side, and the force of average is like, got him! But now you have the fucking tools. Oh, shit. I closed $20 million in mortgages last month. Force of average can eat my asshole twice with some cupcakes and whipped cream, motherfucker. I got nothing to fucking give to you. So the cookie jar is a tool for you to keep your cool. I just keep rhyming today. It's not on purpose. It's just happening. Bear with it. Hopefully y'all wrote some down and put some good ones together today. David Goggins also tells me when we're talking one time what it's like to be a Navy SEAL. Now, he's not sharing national secrets with me or even anything in related to combat other than situational. And so I say that meaning in a situation in the SEALs where shots are being fired at you or you're being attacked by somebody or you've got to sneak in and out without being noticed, which is mostly what they do is there's no conflict whatsoever. They're so badass that they get in and out and there's usually not even any conflict. But could you imagine going into a situation where shots are being fired, the enemy wants to kill you, and you've got to push through all that stuff to complete the level? We've played video games, right? We know this, right? Some of y'all have been in the military, you've done it firsthand. Maybe you haven't been a SEAL, but you've been involved in some form or another. Well, the thing with the Navy SEAL is when they go into a battlefield, they don't expect it to be happily ever after. They expect conflict. You're sneaking around. One motherfucker sees you, man. It could change your entire night. One motherfucker sees bubbles from your submarine. It could change your entire night. One blip on the radar, and that's fucking game over. And so you have a massive, let me repeat, massive amount of stress and pressure on you. And for those of you that have been to the Charpin Institute, you know that pressure and noise is what fucks entrepreneurs up. Because even others can't give you a way to deal with it. He'll tell you to put orange glasses on and 5-toed fingers. That's great. Feet, whatever the fuck, 5 glove feet, feet gloves, whatever the fuck they are. And those reduce surface pressure and fucking noise. And you can put earplugs in to separate noise too, but stress is going to come up. Well, when David and them, they go as a Navy SEAL into these hostile situations, they don't expect to get out and live happily ever after. They expect it to be their last time, so they bring the struggle to the struggle. The thing is that we don't make good decisions when we're from a state of stress. Right? When I get angry, when I get stressed, when I get unfocused, when I get angry, I make stupid decisions just like anybody else. So a Navy SEAL can't go into a stressful situation thinking from a stressful state because that's not where good decisions are made. Good decisions are made through a rational, calm, and relaxed state. So the cookie jar is a tool to give you the cool, because when the Navy SEALs go into these situations, they have shots fired at them and everything else. They can't all of a sudden start acting irrational. They can't all of a sudden start operating from fear or anxiety or stress. They have to learn to be able to operate in the same exact way with shots being fired at them as they would if they were sitting on the fucking couch flipping channels on a Saturday eating popcorn, drinking chocolate milk. Next, the most elite motherfuckers on the planet mentally. So you don't have to be in the best shape to be a SEAL. No, that's what like the consensus is. It is not physical shape. Sure, that's a part of it. Can't be a fucking weakling and get in there. The main part is the mindset. The conditioning they go through is all for your mind, because if you strengthen the mind, you can strengthen the body. You control the mind, you control the body, because the mind controls the body. You go into these hostile situations at work. Sure, you ain't got bullets fired at you, but you got shots fired and ex-employee talking shit about you. Shots fired. You thought you were going to bring on this mortgage branch and surprise with your fucking number one competitor. You want to smash his fucking face in. How you going to act like you're not fucking surprised? Like you just go, you who the fuck you think you are, Floyd Mayweather? You can win every time? Get the fuck out of here. Go on about that. I'm letting it go. You got to be able to remain calm in the struggle, because the force of average is to fuck with your ego and get you all set up and all upset and fucking set you off sideways and everything else. And guess what? Then all of a sudden you're back to fucking average again because you did some stupid shit. You blow up at your old lady. You blow up at your fucking husband. You blow up on an employee. You go spend your money on some fucking shit that you had no business spending your money on. Of course, average comes to get you because you made decisions from a stressful situation. But here's the tools that I'm giving you today. That when you know that there's a force of average coming against you, you know that force of average is coming against you, you know it's trying to attack your ego, you've got a cookie jar to make sure that you remain calm and in a less stressed state than you would normally be, because guess what? It's just like meditation. You focus on getting less stress every day, day in and day out, and guess what? It's just like working any other muscle. All of a sudden, stress goes away. I swear to God, 3 months ago, somebody could say some shit on Facebook, I lose my goddamn mind. Whether y'all saw it happen or not, I lose my motherfucking mind. How do they think I'm fucking doing this? I'm just trying to help these stupid motherfuckers, right? Somebody control my shit. I realized this cookie jar, this calm, cool, and collect state at all times, and I realized that all these were fucking tools against the force of average. Today, a guy said that I should go to prison for spamming it. I used Johnny's software to spam 40,000 fucking phone numbers last week, and went really well. I think it was 40,000. Pat handed over the list. It was something like, it was a lot of fucking, doesn't matter, it was a lot. Maybe it was 4,000, but regardless, it was a fucking lot. And one guy commented on my YouTube, the video I have that says, is Ryan Stewman a scam? And then it's obviously a good testimonial. It says, and it's the fact that I'm laughing about it changes, you can tell it's different, right? But he says, you should go to prison for a long period of time because of blasphemous. And I find it comical, right? In the past, I've been like, you don't know me. I've been to prison before. That's nothing to fucking play with, you cocksucker. But guess what? I put my hand in the cookie jar before I see the shit come across by accident now. I put my hand in the cookie jar. I'm like, this dude's commenting on my YouTube video. I was in Forbes 2 times last month. Oh, this dude's talking on my YouTube video, but we broke a record last month in income. We probably made more money last month in my company than that motherfucker will make his whole goddamn life. I'm going to say that from anything other than fucking ego, because that's what's driving. But again, that's that cookie jar shit, right? I reach in the cookie jar, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, yeah, Ryan Stewman, you're the fucking man. Don't forget. Before I'd be like, fuck, man, I am a piece of shit. I shouldn't fucking blast those people. It's fucking, fuck, now I'm pissing people off. God damn it, man. I hope they don't, like, now, calm, cool, and collect. Shots fired at me, it's all good. I got a job to do. Whether you're shooting at me or not, I've still got to do that job. Oh, you dropping bombs and grenades too? I still got to fucking do my job. You see, when you're a Navy SEAL, when you got to go fucking rescue your target, doesn't matter what comes at you along the way. It could be a hatchet, a fucking nuclear weapon. You don't know. whatever it is that comes at you, you still got to go fucking do your job. You can't call the president back and go, Trump, yo, hey, man, you didn't tell us they was going to have AK-47s. We were expecting 9mm. There is no excuse. We know all about not having any fucking excuses, right? There is no excuse. You're the Navy SEAL of the fucking business world. You ever think of that? You know the government invests $250,000 in training each Navy SEAL? Their estimated worth per fucking human that's a SEAL, which there isn't very many, is over $4 million. That's a huge asset, making them, next to aircraft and tankers, one of the most expensive assets the government owns. Because they have no excuse. They finish the job no matter what. That's the mindset, that calm and cool mindset, knowing that you're going to get the job done no matter what shots are fired at you. You can't call back and say, hey, sorry, we got to circle back around. That doesn't happen. But here's what I want to share with you today, too. I think this is going to be huge for you. And I know that we're running short on time. We might be a few minutes over. But you got to know your worth. Part of it is that cookie jar. But you got to know what you bring to the table. When your kids aren't listening to you, you got to know that, hey, I put you guys in private school. Your future's going to be better than mine because of the things I did for you. So whatever you're mad about Xbox right now, I didn't get you signed up for football in time. Well, I wasn't home last night because I had to work late. You know what? That's a force of average trying to hold you back as a kid. That's a force of average trying to hold you back when it's your wife. You know, Amy told me about a week ago, we had to have a force of average conversation. She said, you know, you're working in the office an awful lot. And at first I thought she was kidding. I was like, are you fucking surprised? I said, all right. Because we have a rule at our house. Business first. It ain't God first. It ain't each other first. Because we know if we handle our business, and I'm not just talking hardcore closer and Breakthrough Academy, I'm talking about business that we got at home. If she handles her business with the kids, I handle my business with the kids. I handle my business for the companies that I represent. Business first. You handle your fucking business first, and everything else seems to fall in place. True story. Anybody that tells you differently, I know some of you religious folks argue with me a little bit, but I'm telling you, make God a part of your business then if that's what it is. If that's what it is, you know? But she tells me, you're working an awful lot at work. And I said, well, you know, the thing is, I used to work at home, and you didn't realize how much I worked because I was just always here, and you think, oh, well, he's in the other room, you know, on his computer, no different than if he was in the living room watching TV, and that wasn't the case. I was working all along. But, Amy, I have made the conscious decision that when I'm home, I'm not working. When I step foot through that house, you can ask Amy, I don't go in there and get on the computer. I haven't written a blog post from home in 3 Sundays now. I came here and wrote it this morning. I turned it fucking off at home. But that force of average came at me. So you're working too hard, Ryan. I had to set her straight. Hey, babe, no, you know what I'm doing? Building a motherfucking empire for us. I'm trying to give everybody a run for their money. I'm trying to bring so much change to the world they can't help but fall in love with me. And I'm not going to be able to do that unless I put in some hours right now. One day maybe we'll fucking be able to enjoy the fruits of our labor. But right now the harvest is fucking growing and I'm fertilizing like a motherfucker. She said, you know what, you're right. She said, I didn't realize how much you worked and this is your dream and I'm on your team. And then it went 30 minutes later, she fucking slammed my door into the fucking garage. Goddamn force of average does not fuck around, man, right? And then we're arguing. We got this great couple that just had this breakthrough moment, and she hit the McLaren door. No! The fuck is wrong with you? Guys, you can only imagine. Ladies, imagine if we fucking put oil in your purse. So I'm going to say this to close this down. You're on this call, you've done the impossible. I'm going to give you some examples, but you've done the fucking impossible. One day, David said to me, he said, man, you know what? There's a lot of motherfuckers out there got more money than you, Stewman, but they ain't done what you've done. Less than a decade ago, you left with $20 to your name from fucking prison. You're supposed to be a piece of shit. These motherfuckers couldn't have even made it through prison, let alone survive prison, come out and became a multimillionaire, let alone come out of prison, come out and change motherfucking lives of what would normally be square people. let alone come out and do your own fucking thing in your own industry and make your own niche and carve out your own fucking tribe for yourself. They can't fucking do that, man. Know your fucking worth. And I thought, I'm adding that to the cookie jar, baby. You're in the same position. KT, you're from a fucking small town, man. A very small town. You said it, only reason I'm repeating it, you said it in public in the tribe that you didn't even lose your virginity until you was 19. So obviously, there weren't enough fucking sheep in your area. You knew you had that coming. But you're from a fucking small town, and you're fucking one of the top producing mortgage people on the planet, my man. You've done the impossible. There's plenty of people sitting in the fucking West Coast that can do $200 million a year. Hell, that's like fucking 115 loans for some people with a huge-ass team and you know, fucking owning big-ass companies and shit. You fucking bootstrapped your way from fucking, I don't even think it's Longview where you live, from wherever the fuck you live in East Texas where nobody else is inhabited out there, to fucking having people from all over the country travel to DFW and then drive 3.5 hours to come see your fucking setup, brother. That's fucking doing the impossible. Brandy Whitmire, you've seen some fucked up shit in your day. I know it's your birthday yesterday. You've seen some fucked up shit in your day. You are different than fucking a lot of people around you. You've been shit on. You've been fucking stepped on. Let's be real. It ain't easy being gay in America right now either. You got a lot of fucking reasons why you should be fucking somewhere fucking working as an admin assistant, Brandy, but you've done the fucking impossible. Despite the excuses you have, getting fucked by family, fucking having victims that, having loved ones that fallen victim to suicide, all these fucking things that you've had to go through in your life that tried to fucking bring you down, but guess what? You beat the force of average and you fucked their excuses. Brandy, you got a lot to be proud of. You've done the impossible. Nick Elliott, you sat there in fucking Miami and told us all about how you were